Check, check, check. Sunday, maybe.
Okay. No, I don't.
Have a good time. Good family time.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
I didn't do a good job reading.
No, you're good. It all worked out.
Oh yeah, Dan.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. What a pleasure and a privilege to be with you tonight. We just begin, as we always do, bringing us to this moment. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la, ya la la, ya la 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 la. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Shabbat Shalom. I want to ask and invite you, everyone right now, to take a look around at who's sitting near to you. And if you don't know someone, and people always say to me, well, Rabbi, we don't know that person. They're a member of the community, but we don't know them. So look around you, make sure that you know at least the people who are sitting around you, and maybe make a vow that you might want to get to know them more when services are concluded tonight. And who knows what would follow after that. You know, in each of our minds, I don't want to disturb that greeting, so I'll wait. In each of our minds, we might wonder, as the sun sets and the spirit of Shabbat suffuses our spirit, how to bring relief and ease to the soul after a very hard week. I don't know about you, but for me, this week's pressures and drives and necessities brings me to this moment where I need to stop and breathe and transform and soften my hard week into this day of rest. And I hope that that is the experience that each of us has. I hope that we are each able to bring ourselves to this place and to this moment and to our people, the people who sit around us, and to ourselves as well, to make sure that we experience the joy and the peace that are the gifts of Shabbat. We continue on page 128 at the bottom. We offer Shabbat HaMalkah. Hachama merosh ha'ilanot nistalka B'u v'nitzei likrat Shabbat HaMalkah Hinei yoredet HaKedosha Berucha Ve'imam malachim tzva shalom u'menucha Boi, boi, ha-malakah Boi, boi, ha-kara Shalom aleichem malachei ha-shalom The sun on the treetops no longer is seen. Come gather to welcome the Sabbath, our Queen. Behold her descending, the holy, the blessed, and with her the angels of peace and of rest. Draw near, and here abide. Draw near, O Sabbath bride. Peace also to you, you angels of peace. On page 120 is the bracha. We're thanking God for the light of this day. O living God, O loving God, with a full heart, we thank you for the blessing of the week which has passed, and for the strength that you have granted us to overcome our difficulties. We ask your blessings for the week that lies ahead. Grant health and contentment to our loved ones and friends. Help us strengthen each other with gentle words and acts of kindness. Bestow your blessings on all your children. May we enter the Shabbat in peace, in unity, and in radiant joy. Baruch atah Adonai,
Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner, lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
A song of welcome and of thanks for the angels of Shabbat that accompany us on this day. Page 142, Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem,
Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon, Imelech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malchei Elyon, Imelech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruchuni L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malchei Elyon, Imelech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzidchem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malchei Elyon, Imelech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The soul of humanity, the soul of the individual yearns for joy. And it can be expressed inwardly or it can be, spoken in great outward expressions of joyous psalms and songs. As we offer prayers for Kabbalat Shabbat, officially welcoming this day of rest, we bring to this place and this moment the yearning of our hearts to find what we need, the strength to grow, rest to calm ourselves, and the gratitude for all the acts of creation. We continue with Kabbalat Shabbat on page 130 in the prayer book. L'chuna ranina.
Ranina l'Adonai, Nariya l'tzur yish'enu, Mikat afanav b'todah, B'zirot nariya lo. Ranina l'Adonai, Nariya l'tzur yish'enu, Mikat afanav b'todah, B'zirot nariya lo. El gadol Adonai, Melech gadol al kol Elohim, Asher biyado mechkerei haaretz v'toafot harim lo. Lechu neranen al Adonai, Nariya l'tzur yish'enu, V'kadma fanav b'todah, B'zmirot nariya lo. Lechu neranen al Adonai, Nariya l'tzur yish'enu, V'kadma fanav b'todah, B'zmirot nariya lo. El gadol Adonai, Melech gadol al kol Elohim, Asher biyado mechkerei haaretz v'toafot harim lo. Asher lo hayam, v'hu asahu, ve'yabeshet yadav yatzaru. Neranen al Adonai, Nariya l'tzur yish'enu, Mikat afanav b'todah, B'zmirot nariya lo. Lechu neranen al Adonai, Nariya l'tzur yish'enu, Mikat afanav b'todah, B'zmirot nariya lo. afana v'toda, mizmirot nariya lo. Nekat afana v'toda, mizmirot nariya lo.
Lecha Dodi on page 138. Tonight we'll offer verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And on the 9th verse, we'll ask folks to rise in body or in spirit. And we face the doors, the open doors, welcoming Shabbat into our sanctuary on this night.
Lecha Dodi likerat kala B'nei Shabbat tekavela Lecha Dodi likerat kala B'nei Shabbat tekavela Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad Ishmi'anu el hamiyuchad Adonai echad Shmo echad L'shem ultiferet V'litila Lecha Dodi Kerat kala B'nei Shabbat tekavela Lecha Dodi Kerat kala B'nei Shabbat tekavela
Verse 5.
Likrat Shabbat
Oh, I'm sorry, 2.
V'chuvenelcha Lekor haverah Merosh mikerem nesucha Sof ma'aseh B'machshava tchila Lecha Dodi Likerat kala B'nei Shabbat Kabela Lecha Dodi Likerat kala B'nei Shabbat Kabela Hitoreri Hiva orech kumi ori Uri shir daberi Kevod Adonai Alayich nigla Lecha Dodi Likerat kala B'nei Shabbat Tekavela Lecha Dodi Likerat kala B'nei Shabbat Tekavela Boi v'shalom Ateret ba'ala Gam b'simcha U'v'tzola Toch emunei Am segula Boi chala Boi chala Lecha Dodi Likerat kala B'nei Shabbat Tekavela Lecha Dodi Likerat kala B'nei Shabbat Tekavela.
Page 140 from Psalm 92, this psalm for Shabbat day, a psalm of gratitude.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת. טוב להודות לאדוני, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר ולזמר לשמך עליון. טוב להודות לאדוני, טוב להודות לאדוני, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר ולזמר לשמך עליון. טוב להודות לאדוני, להגיד בבוקר חסדך, להגיד בבוקר חסדך, באמונתך בלילות, באמונתך בלילות. טוב להודות לאדוני, להגיד בבוקר חסדך, להגיד בבוקר חסדך, באמונתך בלילות, באמונתך בלילות. טוב להודות לאדוני.
We are about to begin Ma'ariv, and I hope that people also have tonight's program, because there'll be some selections from here that we offer as part of Ma'ariv as well. You'll forgive me for being a little distracted on this night, so sorry about the misdirection. But I think we all strive for better in all the things that we do in life. Each of us can look back in regret, or each of us can look ahead and imagine what we have learned that will help us in the future. That's one of the things I'm offering for my own prayers for this week. Because although our evening prayers are there indeed to thank God for all the acts of creation, we are also thanking God for our ability to make the world better. And whether it's making ourselves better, or whether it's improving our community, or improving the loved ones who are part of our daily routine of meeting and interacting. Let us help one another to make this world better. We continue right now with Baruch on page 146. We invite the community to rise in body or in spirit.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam va'ed.
Adonai hamevorach leolam va'ed.
On page 148, at the middle of the page, we read together. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzivaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening.
El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'ma'ariv ha'aravi.
Amen. On page 3 in the supplement.
We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are loved. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. embraced by arms that find us. Even when we are hidden from ourselves, it's the same tune going on. We are touched by fingers that soothe us. Even when we are too proud for soothing, we are counseled by voices that guide us. Even when we are too embittered to hear, we are loved. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are supported by hands that uplift us, even in the midst of a fall. We are urged on by eyes that meet us, even when we are too weak for meeting. We are loved. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. Embraced, touched, soothed, and counseled, ours are the arms, the fingers, the voices. Ours are the hands, the eyes, the smiles. We are loved by an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. Baruch Atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Page 152.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Please be seated. We continue at the top of 154 together.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol me'odecha ve'hayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך, ובקומך, וקשרת מאוד על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני Adonai Elohechem, Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem le'Elohim, Ani Adonai Elohechem.
At the top of 157, we continue together. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. 158.
Hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam ze Eli anu ve'ameru Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed יפדה אדוני את יעקב, ויהלום יד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
Amen. In the supplements now, on page 4, we find tonight's offering of Hashkivenu, a prayer for divine protection.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Hapore Sukkot Shalom, Aleinu, Aleinu ve'al kol amo, Israel, ve'al Yerushalayim, Amen, 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 Amen.
Rabbi Samson Raphael Hirsch wrote these words probably a century or more ago. He warns us about making human rights in our own state conditional on anything other than the basic humanity which all human beings bear within themselves, that is, by virtue of being human. And when I read those words, I thought to myself that sometimes other human beings may be so basic to us, and our expectations may be too high, that we stop noticing their distinctiveness. We stop noticing that every human being is a distinct, lovely, beautiful creature, at least until they prove us otherwise. But we take everything at face value sometimes. We have to look beyond the face. We have to look at the person deep inside, to find their love, to find their needs, to find who they are, and then bring them forward, and they'll help bring us forward as well. So let us remember to stop and see and look at all the people around us, because they make the world a beautiful place to be. We continue with Vishamaru on page 162. 162.
V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam, berit olam. V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam, berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam. Sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz, u'bayom hashvi Shabbat vayinafash. Tefillah begins on page 164. We invite the community to rise in body or in spirit.
We'll offer just the Hebrew pages for the first few of the brachot.
Adonai
Sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu ve'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor ve'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim Ve'konei Ha'akol Ve'zocher Chasdei Avot ve'imahot U'mevi Geula Livnei v'neihem Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai Mechayei hakol atah Rav le'Hoshia Morid hatal Mechalkel Chaim bechesed Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim Somech noflim verofei cholim Umatir asurim Umekayem emunato Lishenei afar Michamocha bal gevurot Umido melach Melech meimit umechayeh Umatmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman ata le'achayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai mechayeh hakol Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh U'kdoshim b'chol yom yahallelucha selah Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. You may be seated. I found something I'd like to share, and that is the words of a poet. This is a translation into English, so it's probably in Spanish much more beautiful. It's by Pablo Neruda. He writes this: Now we will count to 12, and we will all keep still. For once on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language. Let's stop for a second and not move our arms so much. It would be an exotic moment without rush, without engines. We would all be together in a sudden strangeness. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales, and the man gathering salt would not look at his hurt hands. Those who prepare green wars, wars with gas, wars with fire, victories with no survivors, would put on clean clothes and walk about with their brothers in the shade, doing nothing. What I want should not be confused with total inactivity. Life is what it is about. If we were not so single-minded about keeping our lives moving and for once could do nothing, perhaps a huge silence might interrupt this sadness of never understanding ourselves and of threatening ourselves with death. Now I'll count up to 12, and you keep quiet, and I will go. We pause for some moments of quiet prayer.
if you're still offering prayers from your own heart, or exploring words in the prayer book, you're welcome to continue. I'm going to offer something now. If you want to follow along, you're welcome to also look in page 5 in the supplement. If you want to just receive it, that's okay too. And then we'll join together with a prayer for peace. Lo alecha hamlacha ligmor. Lo alecha hamlacha ligmor. Lo alecha hamlacha ligmor. Velo ata ben chorin lehibatel mimena. Lo alecha hamlacha ligmor. Lo alecha hamlacha ligmor. Lo alecha hamlacha ligmor. Velo ata ben chorin lehibatel mimena. Hayom katzar והמלאכה מרובה, והפועלים עצלים, והשכר הרבה, ובנית הבית תחכה. לא עליך המלאכה לגמור. לא עליך המלאכה לגמור. לא עליך המלאכה לגמור. ולא אתה בן חורין להיבטל ממנה. ולא אתה בן חורין להיבטל ממנה. עושה שלום, שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל. הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. אמן. שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ועל כל ישראל.
On page 371 in the prayer book is Misha Berach, our prayer for healing and wholeness. When a person learns that our community, such as ours, is offering prayers on their behalf, that actually lightens their spirit. And that permits them in as human way as possible to continue the struggle against their illness and their injuries, and maybe they will bounce back to wholeness. That is the prayer. That is the hope. So we offer prayers tonight for those that we know and those we may not know, but still who are part
of this communal concern we have around us. And if there is someone here in the community who is offering, perhaps would like to offer, a prayer of healing and wholeness for someone whom they know, and you're invited now to offer that person's name here in our sanctuary.
Those who suffer from mental illness and substance abuse.
Marie Fisher, Jerry Tardy.
Others we should be thinking about tonight? Dear God, aloud and in our hearts, we name those facing illness and pain. We join our prayers to the prayers of all who love them. You're at the middle of 371.
Misheberach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mikor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. A question came to my mind this week. It was, how do we in our lives discover the routes on which we travel? For many people, that's a real question. And even if you use maps or an app of some kind, you have to know where you're going. You have to tell the app where it is, or you have to use the index on your map to find the little square vertically and horizontally of where your destination is. In this week's Torah portion, the Israelites face that question because the Israelites come to a point where Moses is preparing to send spies out into the land, into the promised land. And Moses, he's about to charge these spies. He names all 12 of them by name, so it's almost as though he's chosen exactly who's going. He knows who are the reliable ones. He knows who are the good reporters, maybe. He knows what direction they'd travel. They would go to the promised land. He, Moshe, even knew that they would bring back a good report about the agricultural qualities of the land. What does this Torah portion of Shalach Lecha say? That they brought back a gigantic cluster of grapes that was so big that two people had to carry it on, like, what do they call it, a litter or something? Or just a pole between them. And if you know, that is the sort of the logo. It has been the logo of the Ministry of Tourism in the state of Israel. It's these two people carrying this gigantic bunch of grapes. But Moses also knew of the pessimistic and the cynical nature of people having just come forth of slavery. And if you read pessimistic, you might even read the word fearful connected with that. Because he knew that 10 of these 12 scouts, 10 of these 12 spies, that they would come back and they would offer pessimistic, fearful reports about the people of the land and the fortifications in the land, and more so, the inability of the Israelites to conquer that land. Now, I raised in my own mind the question whether Moses knew that their eventual cowardice, or their cowardice, would lead to 39 more years in the desert, wandering around from place to place, when really it was just a few days' journey in one direction. Did Moses know that God had intended would intend to destroy them? And if Moses knew all these things, then why would he send them? He must have known that they would fall in God's esteem, that they'd suffer the practical effects of having to walk through the desert for 39 years. And Moses also must have known that he would become the babysitter for this group of whiny, insatiable people. And I think that perhaps we have a solution to this. The rabbis offer us a solution to this. It's found elsewhere. And although we are reading this week from the book of Numbers, chapter 13, in this parasha of Shalach Lecha, about the 12 spies who went up to spy the land, I want to fast forward a little ways into the Torah to the beginning chapter of the book of Deuteronomy for a moment. For those of you who may know, Deuteronomy is a retelling of all the stories of the Torah. Moses is telling now 40 years later, 39 years later, all the history of the Israelites to this group of people who were born in the desert. They didn't know what happened to them, so Moses has to tell them. So Moses may have understood that bad things were going to happen for a purpose. Because what's interesting is that as soon as Moses begins to tell the story of those scouts that went up to scout out the land, everyone comes forward. The Torah is not distinctive. Everyone rushes forward to Moses and says, well, we'd like to do this. We'll go up into the promised land. We'll do it. We have no problem. Now, it's 40 years later. But it's as if when Moses was retelling the story, it was as if the people themselves were at that moment saying, we hear the past, but what is our future? Our future is up in the promised land. So yes, we're going to go up there. Or tell the story differently, Moses. Tell the story that our ancestors, they themselves stepped forward. Make the story different. Make it end differently this time. Let us remember that our ancestors, our parents, that they had chutzpah, they had the will and the desire to move forward. And Moses does. That's what Moses does in the book of Deuteronomy. Moses reminds the group then in Deuteronomy that he chose people of renown. He chose princes of the people to be these scouts and these spies. And they stepped forward, says Moses. And they did. They undertook this of their own volition. They initiated their mission. They accepted their task. They knew their mission was to learn about the quality of the land. And then there's a curious phrase in Deuteronomy. So I'm skipping from Numbers to Deuteronomy. But the curious phrase is that the people wanted to discover the derech, that is the route, on the way that they would need to take from where they were to where they were going. So it was not only to discover how nice the grapes were, and it wasn't only to think about how big the people are, or how dangerous they appeared. They wanted to learn the route. They wanted to learn, in Hebrew again, they wanted to learn the derech. Now, the word derech has a lot of different meanings from the Hebrew Bible. It means journey, way, direction. It also translates sometimes as manner or habit, or the customary way of doing things, the normal course of life. In some places, it is even specifically referring to the course of moral character of people. The Torah, here it says that we want to go up, as Moses is relating, we want to go up to discover the way that we will go up
Already then they were using this term going up, which is always the phrase we use when we go to Israel. We ascend to Israel. But in Sifrei on Deuteronomy, which is a midrashic collection, the rabbis say about this phrase, the way on which we will ascend to the land of Israel, the journey on which we will use to ascend, that they make these comments. The rabbis of Sifrei say, you will never encounter a journey in which there are no bends and turns. You will never encounter a pathway in which there are no traps. You will never encounter a life or a time of moral virtue, again, using all those words, derech, in which there are no intersections. So again, this word path, or that's one of the English translations. The word derech in Hebrew, journey, direction, manner, habit, the course of life, the course of moral character. The rabbis remind us that you'll always have interesting diversions on the path of life. It is as if the rabbis of the Midrash were saying, deal with that, accept it. Make sure that you understand that that's part of the bargain. You can cash out if you like, but that's not what we recommend. You can go away, you can become a hermit. You don't have to play by these rules, but know that the rules are going to follow you. Know that life is full of these diversions and bends and turns and traps. Know that. Accept it. That's what I gave you. Too bad, says God, maybe. But that metaphorical question always now, of course, we have to learn how we use the Torah in modern life. So that question, what is the path that each of us will use to ascend? Each of us now needs to answer that question for ourselves. I know that happens every era, perhaps, in our life, but perhaps it happens every day. How will I get to where I'm going? Where will I go? By what mode of transportation? How will I behave along the way? How will I comport myself along the way? Can we anticipate the problems of the future? Because we do need to understand that finding a direction in life is part of accepting these three and perhaps other realities of life, that there are bends and turns, that there are traps, that there are intersections, which is the fact that there is an intersection, of course, means what? It means that we can go off the path for a little bit. We can take that intersection and we can discover a new way, perhaps, and we don't have to return to where we were, but know again that new pathway is always filled with other bends and turns and traps and other intersections along the way. If you ever played Chutes and Ladders, you know what that's about. But when we take those journeys, we do bring good companions with us wherever we go. We have to make sure that they are sated along with us, that they are sated not only with the journey, but with real sustenance, with food and drink. We have to ask them not to be overwhelmed by the journey. And at that time, too, we take those comrades and we listen to them. And we hope that we can share that experience. We hope that we take comrades along with us who allow us to empathize with them when they need help and to think about how we can help them and help ourselves in so many ways. This journey that these spies are taking in this parashah, they don't know what they will find. I think Moses did. But I think Moses wanted the people in the desert there to have 39 years of paths that were filled with traps and turns and intersections. I think Moses knew that was something that could harden them. I think that Moses understood that is exactly what is needed in that journey. And perhaps Moses teaches us, as Moses, the teacher and master, always does. Maybe that's what Moses teaches us as well about life. That life is full of turns and traps and intersections. all possibilities, all contingencies, and yet all could be a joyful and a wonderful experience. Shabbat Shalom. Did you expect something different? No. We want to invite you to turn to page 123, and we offer Kiddush on this night, page 123. Guess what color? I don't know. We'll be careful either way, that's right. You have to guess too. Page 123.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lemaaseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh zecher litziat Mitzrayim ki banu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim ve'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat l'chaim. Our service continues on page 586 in the prayer book. We continue on 586 at the top of the page. For Aleinu, please rise in body or in spirit. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol l'ateit gedula liotzer breshit shehu noteh shamayim v'yosed aretz umoshav yikaro v'shamayim mima'al u'shchinatu zo begofhei meromim hu Eloheinu ein od ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. We invite you to be seated, and on page 591 we continue together as a congregation. Page 591 at the top. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding, loved each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand, but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech kol haaretz hayom ha'u yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
I'm reading on page 592. When I die, Give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me best by letting hands touch hands and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die. People do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. At this sacred moment, we call to mind those who died recently and those whose Jahrzeiten occur at this time, the anniversary of their passing. If you're present tonight in mourning or in remembering a loved one because it is their Jahrzeit, we invite you to rise as the name of your loved one is recited. And at the end, we'll offer the opportunity to add names to this list of memory. These are those whom we know about, whom we've taken into our hearts with our own. The recent deaths in our community, Amir Galiloval, cousin of Alex Avery, and Bert Wagner, husband of Georgia Wagner, cousin of Linda Berman. And these are the Jahrzeiten that we are recalling at this time in continuing dedication to their memories. We think about Leon Vodovosov Blair, Sidel Levin Chekarol, Herbert E. Cohn, Roberta Davis, Sandy Dutch, Razel Feldman, Janet Fishbane, David S. Frank, Toby Friedman, Gustav Uri Gantz, Shirley Glazer, Arthur R. Goldstein, Russ Graff, Helen Grossman, William Kemp, Phyllis G. Kenigsberg, Muriel King, Patricia Maloney, Ruth Ottenstein, Dr. Harold Ottenstein, Joel Peterson, Larry Preisler, Arlene Rotter, Dolly Rupin, Ruth Saltzman, Morris Schoengold, Lou Swidarski, Alma Sweet, Harold Wagner, Morton Wax, Fran Weintraub, Terry White, Annette H. Winston, Jacob H. Waldenberg, and Betty B. Zeckman. There may be others whom you are remembering tonight, and as a community of consolation, we invite you too to add names to this list of memory with whom we are now joining in memory and we are remembering at this time.
Leon Asai.
Others we should be remembering tonight. Zichronam livracha, may all their memories be blessings in our hearts and the hearts and minds of all those who knew and loved them. Testifying to the faith that binds the generations of humanity together, we now, as a community, turn to page 598, and we rise in body or in spirit to offer the words of the mourner's Kaddish. Page 598, please join one another. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, Be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, V'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yit'halal, Shmei d'kudsha b'richu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata, Da'amiran be'alma v'imeru Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya, V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav,
V'yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru. Amen. May God send peace to all who mourn and comfort to those who are bereaved. And we say, Amen.
Amen.
Please be seated. Just a few brief announcements before we conclude our service. First of all, Shabbat Shalom to everyone. I hope this day is a day of peace and a day of beauty for you all. As if you do not know, this is my last appearance on the Bima, at least planned for the near future. Next week, please join Temple Beth El, as first of all, it is the first Friday evening of July, and that means that we are going to start Shabbat across Madison. So we'll be meeting next Friday evening at 5:15 at the Elver Park new shelter, I guess as opposed to any other older shelter they may have. I don't know about that.
It's very nice.
It's a very nice shelter. So please join everyone for 5:15 for a nosh before the service, and then the service sort of is in there somewhere.
Yes.
However it is. And Rabbi John Prosnett, of course, is going to be your new rabbi, the successor rabbi, and so please be sure to welcome John with open arms and hearts. Tomorrow morning, there will be Torah study here in the building and on Zoom. That's led by me, so please join us for that. This coming Thursday, July 4th, the office will be closed in celebration and observance of Independence Day for our country. And Friday evening at 5:15 at the Elver Park Shelter. And on Saturday morning, July 6th, there will be Torah study, as always at 9 o'clock. Next Saturday, led by Steve Olson. For more registration and more details and registration, please see our website, tbemadison.org. And some of that is, and some other reminders are in the page 7 of the supplement tonight that you can take home and look at your leisure. I think, anybody else have any other announcements that they need to make tonight?
I would just like to wish you the very best on your travels and your new life in Arizona. And I think we are all thinking that, and I didn't know if it was an appropriate moment to say it, but I'm saying it.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, yes.
Well, I just want to say thank you for all the inspiration and teaching you've given us. I'm looking forward to some more at another time. And I just wish you safe travels, much love along the way, a very exciting journey ahead.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you. And I would also remind you that as your Rabbi Emeritus as of Monday, I'm not going to be watching over you anymore. But I will be with you in spirit, and I'm going away just for a year. This is just a year time away. So I will think of you, and I'm sure you will think of me on occasion. And if you don't, that's okay too. But let's close the service. Let's go to
friends,
let's go to page 649.
To wrap all of those blessings up together, we have a Tefillat Haderech, a blessing for the journey, both for the physical journey that Rabbi Beitch is going to be undertaking in a couple of days, also the journey that we're all on together in this moment. Importantly, the traditional text of Tefillat Haderech also includes words not just saying that may we be guided in peace to our destination, but also that God may help us to return in peace. So even though it's not necessarily in the lyrics here, it's subtext. As we offer this blessing to Rabbi Beitch, to one another, we ask for blessings in this moment. 649.
And it really applies to everybody.
Yes.
This is not just for me. This is all of our journeys.
May
May
we be blessed as we go on our way. May we be guided in peace. May we be blessed
this be our blessing. Amen. 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 May this be our blessing. Amen. 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 May this be our blessing. Amen. May we be sheltered by the wings of peace. May we be kept in safety and in love. May grace and compassion find their way to every soul. May this be our blessing. Amen. 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 May this be our blessing. Amen. 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 May this be our blessing. Amen. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Yes. I mean, let's do it. I will call you next week. We'll figure out a day.
It's a deal. How do you like your new dues?
It's, it's funny. It takes a while before it starts to feel like home, but it's starting to feel like home.
Do you miss being with the Federation?
Oh, of course. Because I miss the old days when Lynn was there, when we were both up front. It's yeah, because it's just to feel like you're not part of the community. On the other hand, yeah, there are. No, on the other hand, we're a big team, so it's nice to see.